Well, a cathedral is the seat of the bishop, so it's in that sense the kind of core of the diocesan life. It's the place where the bishop has his cathedra, his actual seat, his chair, from which he traditionally taught.
Cathedrals, although they are massive structures, huge institutions, they're also very intimate places, and that is true of Christ Church. It is a family network, in a way, that branches out and extends beyond itself.
Cathedrals are being visited more and more by people from all over society, believers and non-believers alike. And I know the power of these places.
There's always a grumble about cathedrals because they're felt to concentrate sort of power and art and mystique. As with all good things, there's a kind of shadow side to this, which one works with. You can't overcome it. You just have to say this is part of the package, just as in the way Harry Potter is connected to Christ Church. But what we actually have is a cathedral which is closely linked into the university. We've got 4 professorial canons who are keeping alive the tradition of both living theology, scholarship and worship together. I think that's an amazing resource actually for the whole of the diocese and for the whole of the church.
We of course have our own special saint, and I'm standing actually very near to where St Frieswide has her burial place. She represents faithfulness to me. Frieswide suffered for her faith, as so many saints did of course, and so in her faithfulness to the gospel, to the Lord that she loved, giving her life, giving herself wholly to God, she is a kind of icon, a metaphor for the Christian life.
What's unusual about Christ Church is that it's so difficult to find. You can't see it. There's no obvious entrance that isn't also the entrance to the college. It's a church in Manchester called the Hidden Gem. And I'd like to think Christ Church is a bit like that. It's this hidden treasure that you find, but it's a challenge to get there.
I'm the vicar of St Francis Church, which is here in Holloway. I'm also part of a team ministry across the Cowley parish. Well, today, about 27 of us are going to the Cathedral, Christ Church, for a visit, to do a tour and then to experience, be a part of the evensong.
Here we are, little St Francis in Cowley, and it's rather nice to go along to the big cathedral and feel part of it.
I've never been, and so I'm looking forward to seeing it and going and see what goes on there.
I have been many, many years ago, but not actually looked round it with much sort of detail really, or thought about it.
Henry VIII took possession of all Wolsey's property, and it was he who said what remains of the Priory Church was to be the college chapel, and he also made it the Cathedral of Oxford.
It's an afternoon visit with a guided tour of the cathedral with one of our cathedral guides, and it's followed by tea in the Great Hall and then evensong at 6 o'clock.
To me, the cathedral is the buzz or the place where the community should be focused to. Everything should centre at the cathedral. And I like to think of the churches around the outside, including St Francis Church, are like the daughter churches of the cathedral.
Christian life isn't just lived in small communities. It always opens up onto wider horizons. And the cathedral really symbolises that. You're linked not just into your local church, but into the church universal.
Any service in the cathedral is open to absolutely everybody. The more members of the diocese and people who live in the area who come to the services, the better.
Christ Church is always open and welcome for people. Please always come in through Tom Gate, say to the custodians that you're coming for a service or just coming as a pilgrim.
Everyone's welcome to come to any of the services at any point.
We really have to encourage parishes to think that this is their cathedral. It comes across, I think, for a lot of people as a private chapel for the college.
It should be connecting more to the community, and if it's only reaching out to a certain type of clientele, not that I'm suggesting that, but if it does only, like college students or whatever, then it's missing out on the riches of other people and what gifts they can bring to it.
If you're a member of the Oxford Diocese, which is basically the 3 counties of Oxfordshire, Berkshire and Buckinghamshire, you're entitled to come to what is your cathedral at any time.
I do feel more connected, and I think I'm very privileged actually to live in a place where there's such a beautiful cathedral.
Very warm and welcoming. I'd like to be able to spend some time in there to pray and reflect on things in my life.
Well, it's lovely. It's to look at all the works, and it's absolutely lovely. Yeah, I would love to come again.
It's very homely, it's very inviting. I like it because it's smaller than the normal big cathedrals and you feel welcome.
The cathedral is the home place for everybody. On a more profound level, we remember that we serve a mystery. In the end, that we're not just there as a tourist destination, we are there to serve a mystery that encompasses all of us.